What up, Mr. Hip Hop Vegan coming with another video. Hopefully everybody's doing great. My mission in life is to serve 1 billion people through meditation and yogi sciences. Now I'm gonna go straight to the video. As you can see in my thumbnail, I got a picture of Mysonne, got a picture of Jay-Z, got a picture of Kaepernick, and I got a picture of Malcolm X. I'm gonna start first of all with the Kaepernick and Jay-Z situation and Kaepernick, all three of them together. Not too long ago, we had a couple of rappers, Big Boy, Travis Scott, doing the Super Bowl. And they got a lot of heat from people like Mysonne. And they were going back and forth on Twitter or Instagram. I don't know which one, but with CeeLo Green, with Big Gip, I think is his name. Yeah, Big Gip. They were going back and forth and stuff like that because they were doing the Super Bowl. Well, Big Boy was doing the Super Bowl from Outkast, and Mysonne went at them and shit like that. They shouldn't have done it. Blah blah blah. This and that. Now let's get back to now when Jay-Z is signed a deal with the NFL, and which I didn't have a problem with anything that was happening. I was more of an ally to everybody in the situation. But what really bothers me is that people like Mysonne, they will pick and choose who they would go against or who they'll pick their battles with. They're not going to pick their battle with Jay-Z because he's in the upper echelon and he's like on the highest, he's on the pedestal when it comes to hip-hop and in the music and one of the gatekeepers and stuff like that, which I had no issues with that. What I do have an issue with is people like Mysonne picking and choosing who they'll go against. I'm pretty sure, I think Beyonce had some Gucci on after that whole racist Gucci thing that was going on. And I don't think anybody will go against Beyonce. Which, when it comes to clothes and stuff, I'm not really into like that high fashion Gucci and shit like that. But some people are, and that's their prerogative. But when it comes to the NFL and this and that, they're, telling people to boycott when most people won't boycott their job, even if they're being harassed or being put out or, because of their color and stuff like that. Most people are not going to boycott their job. So why they want football players to boycott their job when they are feeding their families, what else they're doing? They just doing a great job, of changing their narrative as far as their life, and getting out that poverty stricken community that they came from. And like I said, that NFL is just a job. They say the $1 million slave. Most people are $1,000 slave. Most people are $100 slave. So let's not go back and forth and worry about football players living their life and feeding their family. At the end of the day, it might not be equal when it comes to pay and what they put their body through, but they still working a job just like everybody else. And most people are not going to boycott their job when it comes to racial profiling and stuff like that, or boycott their job. So let's stop with that stupid shit, and that shit is not going to work when it comes to football. People are going to watch it anyways. And I just think it was just a pick and choose situation because people are not going to go against Jay-Z, which is his prerogative what he wants to do in the NFL. He made it to where he's at for taking risks and doing his thing. So that I'm not really worrying about. It's just when people pick and choose and choose their battles. When Outkast is a well qualified rap group to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Big Boy, to me, the Goody Mob and that whole group was more of a conscious music in the South. They're one of the first to talk a lot of good shit from the South, especially CeeLo Green. He has one of my favorite freestyles from Sway and Tech in the morning show. Dope ass freestyle. If you haven't heard it, you should go listen to it. So that's my take on that situation. And what I'm also disappointed is that, and they also brought up the fact, Kaepernick brought up the fact that, not Kaepernick, Mysonne brought up the fact that Kaepernick took a deal, that Reed and Kaepernick took a deal. They didn't say how much they got from that deal from the NFL, but they got some money. and nobody is getting mad at them for taking that money. But they still say they're gonna kneel when it wasn't about disrespecting the flag. It's about police brutality, like they say. So that's the only thing I'm upset with Kaepernick. He does all this but doesn't say anything. So that's another loss, and people are not gonna follow that. So I'm more upset about the fact that Kaepernick is gonna pick and choose, like I said. Now to the whole Malcolm X situation. I think it was under somebody. I think it was a Mysonne post, and I rarely post anything on the comment section on Instagram. However, what I put on the comment was that white people respect their leadership, and black people disrespect their leaders. When it comes to George Bush, Trump, whoever is the leader of their nation, they respect them to the fullest. They really don't talk shit or down them. But when it comes to African Americans and the black fake conscious community, they put a leader down like Malcolm X. One of the dudes under my post had the nerve to say Malcolm X was gay and he was soft and this and that. He didn't do anything. And I'm just here to say that anybody in the conscious community who thinks that way, being black back in the days is way worse than being black now. And Malcolm X, how you say this, sacrifice way more than Kaepernick, than anybody in whoever, anybody who's trying to protest and this and that. Malcolm X have done 100 times more and sacrificed more than they did, and that's just so disrespectful. How these fake consciousness people will have the nerve, the audacity to down talk somebody like Malcolm X, who died battling white supremacy and battling inequality and fighting for black equality, and you have the nerve to put him down. You have the nerve to put him, you don't have to respect, you don't have to, let me see how you say this. You have to respect them. You don't have to agree with everything they say, but you do have to respect them, because what they did was what most people were scared to do, especially at that point. And disrespect to people like Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X and Martin, it's a distaste in my mouth, because what they did was they used people who look like them and infiltrated their whole structure and tore them down. Marcus Garvey, they tore him down. They took up they destroyed his Black Star Line and just destroyed everything. And for people, and it was a black African American under the age of 30 disrespecting Malcolm X, which is the most disrespectful shit I ever seen in my life. You don't have to, like I say, agree with his message, but you don't have the right or the proper. You're a nobody to disrespect somebody like a Malcolm X, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And it's so disrespectful, and that's the reason why the conscious community would never ever thrive, because they're always bashing a leader. They're always bashing somebody. And I can even say back in the days, when just listening to different interviews and stuff like that, they didn't even respect Malcolm X back in the days. Especially the Nation of Islam, they were bashing him all day. And that's the reason why they got rid of him. And I respect everybody, whatever, but at the end of the day, they didn't like Malcolm X back then. And it was everywhere. You can see in the street, even if you listen to the Dapper Dan interview on the Breakfast Club, he even said that people dislike Malcolm X from the Nation of Islam, because the Nation of Islam was real big at that point, at that time. So now everybody talking shit even more about him is so disrespectful, and that's why the conscious community would never ever thrive. And that's why in these days I say that the black conscious community is like the barbecue Beckys of the internet, because they want to complain, they want to talk shit about everybody, about the leaders. There's no unity amongst nobody. Everybody got their own knowledge. Anybody this and that. And I've been doing this a long time as an ally to the African brothers and stuff like that. Been doing this for a long time, since the 90s. Del Jones, John Henrik Clark, reading those books. Our homeboys put us on to Phil Valentine. Dr. Africa was around then. Dr. Sebi. This is all in the 90s, you know, 13, 14, 15 years old, growing up, just studying the African civilization, that book, just African studies, African science, and it's not the Europeans, but straight from the mouths of African Americans who were great teachers at that time, and people putting them down. So, and I think even W.E. Du Bois was putting down Marcus Garvey at that time. So there's no unity. They'll use you against each other, and then y'all take it and y'all feed into it too and bash each other. Barbecue Beckies of the online world. That's what I call this fake consciousness, who have the nerve, the audacity to disrespect a leader like Malcolm X. And it behooves me that you people have the nerve to do that. And I call that dude's a bum bitch. He'll never have shit. A bum bitch. That's what bum bitches do. And no disrespect, I'm not calling a female a bitch. I'm just calling that bum bitch, that dude who did talk about Malcolm X, calling him a bum bitch. But anyways, I really didn't want to make videos like that, but that shit just got on my nerves. This channel, I'm gonna just start doing like a couple. I have another channel that I'm gonna create. I'm just creating the LLC. Trying to get the logo done. Try to get my products put together. See what products I want to put on there. But that's coming real soon. I can't wait. I got a lot of things that I'm putting together, and it's mostly in the health industry, as far as mostly a fruitarian alkaline diet. The reason why I'm still gonna have this channel, Mr. Hip Hop Vegan, but I want to get away from that vegan title, that vegan world. They become more of a religion than anything else. So I really want to take myself out, and then my other channels will be more of my days in the life, more about my business, different products that I'm gonna put together. So can't wait for that. And I'll let you know when that channel is up and running, and be more consistent. I wish I would have been more consistent on this channel. I took years off. I'll start, stop, and stop, and hopefully I don't have to do that again. So thank you for watching my video. I'll leave it like that. And if anybody watching it and disagree and gets upset, I don't care. All I gotta say is love your leaders. You don't have to agree with them, but in front of people, in front of your enemies, love them and show respect for your elders and your teachers. So thank you for watching my video. 1.